All right. Well, thank you very much to the media for joining us. We appreciate you sticking with us. And you know what? I am very excited. I think the world is excited for October 9th as we get set to hear from the longtime heavyweight champion of the world who looks to reclaim his championship from the T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas against Tyson Fury, their epic trilogy, Saturday, October 9th, live on ESPN Plus pay-per-view and Fox Sports pay-per-view. It all comes away from the T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas. We get going at 9 o'clock Eastern, 6 Pacific time, an all-heavyweight pay-per-view card, all 4 fights, and it's highlighted by Deontay Wilder going after his heavyweight championship against Tyson Fury. Tickets are on sale now. You can get them at www.tmobilearena.com or AXS.com. The event is presented by Top Rank, Bomb Squad Promotions, TGB Promotions, and Frank Warren's Queensberry Promotions. It is a Premier Boxing Champions presentation. Let's talk about the former heavyweight champion of the world with the record of 42 wins, 1 loss, 1 draw, 41 wins coming by way of knockout. A 2008 Olympic bronze medalist for Team USA. He re-energized the heavyweight division by capturing the title back in January of 2015. He made 10 successful title defenses. His knockout percentage of 93% still stands as the highest of any heavyweight champion, past or present. He's now trained under the guidance of former heavyweight contender Malik Scott. And I'll tell you this, I've known Deontay Wilder for a long time, but this is the most focused, this is the most determined, and this is the most locked in that I've ever seen him over the course of his career. When it comes to Deontay Wilder, the word that comes to mind is electrifying. He is must-see TV every single time. He brings it, and no doubt he has entertained fight fans all over the world for years upon years. And now on October 9th, he's in his quest to regain his heavyweight championship of the world. He's violent and he's focused. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the Bronze Bomber from Tuscaloosa, Alabama, Deontay Wilder. Deontay.
Well, what's going on, baby? You did a great job, man. You're gonna be a ring announcer, man, coming up in there. I need you as my ring announcer.
Hey, I can't wait, D. First of all, it's great to talk with you. I love watching the training footage. I know we only get small sample sizes, but how are you feeling? We are weeks away. This is something that you've been waiting for such a long time.
Man, I feel amazing. You know, I think that's the key word and a great word to say is just amazing. You know, some people feel good, some people feel great, but I feel amazing. I think just this time that has passed has been great for me. You know, the more time that has passed, you know, the more and more we've been able to work on different little things and perfect it. You know what I mean? You can never be perfect in certain things, but that don't mean you can't train to be perfect for it. And I think what we've been doing is definitely going to benefit me in not only this fight to come, but fights to come, you know, in the future as well. So I thank God for everything that has happened to me and the thing that's going to happen for me.
Now, working with Malik Scott, when I look at the training footage and I see it, you have this, there's this love that I see that you are exhibiting in your training. Are you enjoying every single moment of your training and working with Malik? Because you guys seem to be just so in sync with one another.
Yeah, man. You know, Malik is a wonderful person, man, a wonderful man. I met him way back years and years ago in the Poconos when we was getting Thomas Adamek ready to defend his title, and it was just we clicked, you know, at first sight. You know, I tell the story about how I not only did I meet him that particular time, but I also met his family, his moms, his sons, and the unique thing about me and Malik, not only do we have a brotherhood, a bond, a love for each other, but a fun fact is that his mother is the same birthday as mine, and my mother lands on the same date as his. So it's pretty cool, man. And just to be out here with Malik, not only just with Malik, but all my brothers. I have every last one of my brothers, you know, in camp with me. All my brothers is a part of my team. And it's just that love, man. I tell people I have so much love around me that the hate is invisible to me. I don't really dwell on it. It's nothing to me. I think they take it more personal than I. It's just one out the other. If someone says something, or if I see something, or most of the time I don't really see nothing. If you live where I live, you will understand the isolation that I have. And like I said, I always talk about the love because it's just it's so real. You know what I mean? And what we have in our team, how passionate we is, and us training, it's just fun, man. They say if you're having fun on your job, then it's not working. So that's what it is right now. We've just been able to have fun while learning things. We create things together. And we just, it's just the passion that we have to come back and do this thing again and to become 2-time heavyweight champion of the world.
Well, Deontay, I know that the media wants to ask you questions. They're joining us from all over the world. So now we're going to turn it over. Andrew Roberts, if you have questions for the Bronze Bomber, Deontay Wilder, make sure to raise your hand. And then when we call upon you, unmute yourself and ask the champ the questions because his time is very valuable. So I'm going to turn it over to Andrew Roberts with questions from the media. Andrew.
Thanks very much, Ray. Our first question is going to come from Keith Idek with Boxing Scene. Keith, you can go ahead and unmute yourself and ask your question.
Yes, Deontay, as I understand it, you've been fully vaccinated for quite some time. And I was just wondering if you could lend your perspective on maybe the reluctance of a lot of boxers to not get vaccinated because it's obviously been postponing or canceling a lot of fights.
You can't tell grown people what to do, and it's hard to try to. I can only say that, this what's going on in the world and what we're going through with it is something new to us all around the world. And a lot of people are frightened to what they have heard of what's been going on. So, for me, we thought it be a great idea for us my whole team just to get vaccinated, just in case. There's always that just in case factor. As you can see, my fight was already postponed once again due to the claims of this situation. But we just thought it'd be a great idea because I heard a lot of things, but I trust the people that I'm around. I trust my doctor, and my doctor was really the one that was really able to really just calm me down in that situation and be like, all right, we're gonna get it, so we won't, and everybody around me to get it. So it won't be no mishaps, no miscommunication or nothing, no excuses about, we caught the COVID or anything like that. So, for me, my advice to all other fighters, if you're comfortable with it, go do it, get it done, and if you're not, then, you take your judgments on that.
And Deontay, my other question for you is just, have you decided what, if anything, you're going to wear into the ring going into this fight based on what happened in the before the last fight?
Yeah, I'm gonna, all my fights have, since I became champion, it's nobody come out with a better dress, better uniform than I, and we're gonna continue to continue with that, and we just have to see what I put on. It's gonna be something special. It's gonna be something that I dedicate this, to my people, my tribe, So I look forward to seeing it.
All right, thanks very much, Keith. Our next question is going to come from Jeremy Harris with Fansided. Jeremy, you can unmute yourself and ask your question.
Hi, Deontay. Observing your last training camp, it appeared that when you weren't training, you were spread pretty thin with media obligations and life in general. Did you feel distracted in the lead up to the second fight?
I didn't feel distracted. It was I think the word for it is draining. When you're dealing with media and promoting the fight and different things like that, it's very draining to a fighter. And I didn't realize how draining some of these things would be until I go into my room, and I would feel like, I got the rest of the day to rest, and it'll be all right and stuff like that. But as over time, as you continue to do it, leading up to the weeks of the fight, I mean, it adds on, you know, and it can be very draining just to please, you know, obligations that you have to for a fight, you know. And at this point in time, you know, we're being smart about everything that we do, you know, even with the media, the things that I promote, the things, people who I talk to, you know, sharing my energy with people, you know, all that has changed. You know, I think I devoted my my time, you know, and everything else above to people, you know, especially being a champion. And a lot of people didn't appreciate it, but they're going to see the big difference now. They're going to appreciate me way more now than more so than ever because of the way I am, the way I'm going to handle them and handle certain situations.
The way that you train physically has appeared to change. Has your approach mentally changed as well?
So, you know, as far as training, you say?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, most of everything has changed. You know, I'm super focused. You know, I'm more focused now than I've ever been in my entire career. You know, this is another part, a second phase of my career. You know, like I said, I had fun in my first album coming out, defending the title. You know, for 5 years, 10 title defenses. You know, like I said, I gave my time to people, you know, and so it was appreciated, but sometimes it wasn't. And at this point in time, man, we're serious about everything. I'm super focused. I'm in a happy place, and I'm glad that I'm here. You know, I'm happy. You know, that they say things happen for a reason, and sometimes we don't understand that reason until we get in a situation or a certain place in life. And then we understand. And with me and my team aboard, we all understand everything that has happened. And we're just looking forward to it. We all smile, you know, we all laugh. You know, I always talk about the love that I have in my camp, and it is so real. You know, I love to display it. I love to talk about it because, you know, so many people look for this type of love because there's so many fake people out there that show fake love. And I know one for sure, if I see love, is between the family that I have within my team and my brotherhood that I have with all my guys, you know, and that means a lot to me.
All right. Thank you, Jeremy. Our next question is going to come from Dan Rayfield, Fight Freaks and Boxing Scene. Dan, you can unmute yourself and please ask your question.
Hello, Deontay. Good to talk to you today. I was wondering, I know that you probably were very unhappy when the fight was postponed from July until October, but I'm wondering now that you're in the period of time leading up to the fight that it's happening in October, do you think that the delay was of any benefit to you, not a benefit? Like, how do you view the delay? Would you think it's going to be ultimately good for you? And if so, why?
The delay was a blessing for me. You know, the more they delayed it, the more time we had to work on our craft and art. And to go over even more strategically go over the game plan that we're going to have come October the 9th. So, you know, it was a time of frustration because as a fighter, you know, as a fighter, you're ready to go. You know, you're ready to get back out there. And this is the longest I've been out of the ring, especially when I'm anxious to get in the ring. It's just something about boxing that calls you. That ring just calls you there. You know, even when sometimes you may want to give up. Sometimes you may just want to quit or just say, I don't want to do no more. Just something about boxing, it just draws you back. Look at all the retired guys, they coming back and they just want to be a part of boxing. Boxing allows you to just stay part of it, man. But that time that we had, you know, it have benefited me tremendously. And I'm looking forward to October the 9th.
And so when you get in the ring and you fight Fury for the third time, is your motivation or is your most motivation to you, is it to get back the WBC heavyweight title, or is it just to beat this man that sort of seems to be under your skin for the last number of months?
I just want to beat his ass. You know, just as simple as that, you know, just beat his ass.
All right. Awesome. Thanks, Dan. Our next question is going to come from Donna Corby with the Daily Mirror. You can go ahead and unmute yourself and please ask your question.
Hi, Deontay. How's it going?
Great.
I wanted to ask about the drug testing for this fight. Are you concerned at all about that? And do you know what the plan of action is?
I mean, I can't worry about what's going to go on that side. You know, we hired some people to do that job, and we're expecting them to do that job. You know, my job is to get in the ring and put on a great performance and do the things that we have set planned. And that's all I'm focusing on. I'm gonna leave that job to them, and I'm gonna leave my job to myself.
Now, after the last fight, you talked about how you felt that there was something going on with Tyson Fury's gloves, and that he had put something that resembled an egg weight into the gloves. At any point, did you consider, like, this would be a grand conspiracy if he did this? At any point, did you consider calling the police, making it a criminal matter? Because, I mean, you're talking about somebody trying to really badly hurt you against a contract that you've signed. This would be like a criminal matter if you were to do that.
But you know, I didn't go to the measurements of that. You know, like I said, I want it back in blood, so that's up to me. So come October the 9th, I will get my revenge. You heard it. You seen the shirts we had, glass eye glass, eye for an eye, and that's what I'm looking forward to.
All right, thank you, Donna. Our next question is going to come from Cam Buford. Cam, you can unmute yourself and please ask your question.
Hey, Deontay. Thanks for taking time to talk to us. I appreciate hearing you speak once again. Malik, during the last press conference, Malik talked about pacing your training camp to have you prepared for that July fight. As we all know, was postponed. How was the process kind of recalibrating yourself in camp to get ready for the October 9th date?
I mean, it was an easy process. You know, we just had to take a little bit more time off of what we was doing. We didn't want to overtrain. We didn't want to overdo anything that we was doing, you know, and we understood a lot of things that was going on. And when you understand certain things, and when, like I said, it's just like the truth. When you know the truth, they said the truth sets you free, you know, and we're free spirit, we're free beings, and we have a free mindset of thinking. And I think that what held us down the most, you know. Everybody was on the same accord, my whole team. You know, that's the beautiful thing about my team. Like, it's very rarely that we come into a disagreement on anything. And if we do come into a disagreement, within those 48 hours, it will be resolved. And with that being said, you know, it's just something that we had to do. You know, we understand that the things that we can't control, we don't worry about controlling it. We just let it take its course. And when it's time for action to be presented and displayed, we do that. So I'm just looking forward to it. To October 9th, it's finally here, and hopefully there's nothing else that interfere with this process of proceeding forward. And finally, we can turn the chapter in this book and end it once and for all.
And then lastly, for me, do you have a message to your fans, Deontay, kind of about this time off and without hearing you speak for so long? What's your message to your fans up for this upcoming fight?
I just want to tell all my fans, my true fans, my day ones, you know, the ones that came on board, you know, now I just want to tell them I appreciate them. I appreciate the love. I appreciate their prayers that they've been sending out to me. I appreciate the messages that they've been delivering to others that know me close to give to me, all walks of life, you know what I mean? And it's been amazing. The journey has been amazing. And here we are. We're back again. It's the redemption, the retaliation, you know, and just looking forward to October 9th. I'm going to need all you guys' love and your support. If you can't be there, you know, tune in to it. Click that button, baby. And here we go. Bomb Squad is back.
All right, excellent. Thank you, Cam. Our next question is going to come from Xavier Porter. Xavier, please unmute yourself and you can ask your question.
Thanks, Andrew. Peace, champ. How you doing? Glad to see you back in action.
Blessings.
All right. A couple questions I got to ask you. With regards to this training camp, has this training camp been the best training camp you had as a professional? And if so,
what's the second part?
The second part is the loss from Tyson Fury. Do you think that bettered your career? Do you think that made you a better fighter?
This training camp has been amazing. It definitely has, hands down, been the best training camp I've ever had in my entire career. You know, sometimes you need certain events to happen in life to bring about a change of things, whether that's getting rid of people out of your life, or whether it's taking up the regiments of training inside the camp, or you know, or anything that it feels that need to be a change. And I can say, man, this is the best camp I've had all the way around. And this is the first time where I had all my guys with me, you know, at all times, at a long period of time, and with no distractions, you know, or the outside world or anything, you know. And I'm just in a happy state. I'm in a happy place. My mindset, mentally, physically, emotionally, and spiritually, I'm ultimately happy. And it has been a blessing. And what was the second question?
The second question was the loss to Tyson Fury. Do you feel it has made you a better fighter? And if so, what did you take from it? What did you learn so much about yourself from it?
I mean, it definitely have made me a better person. You know, just it's strengthened me in so many areas. You know, I can say so many different things here, but my action is going to speak louder than my words can. Any given day, any given month, week, year. You know, and I'm just ready for October the 9th just to display it and prove to the world that who I am and what I am. You know, and I tell everybody, all my fans, don't blink.
All right, excellent. Thanks very much, Xavier. Our last question is going to come from Jim Conlon. Jim, you can unmute yourself and please ask your question.
Hi, Deontay. Deontay, this all started with yourself and Tyson Fury back in 2018 in Belfast in Ireland. Did you think maybe 4 years on that the world would be still talking about Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury? And do you sort of believe that trip to Belfast was probably the best trips you've ever made coming to Ireland?
You know, I couldn't imagine that we would still be talking about this, even, you know, from that time, even to now. You know, I couldn't even imagine that the world would be turned upside down with a virus as well, where the whole world has been affected, you know, and we all, you know, have unlearned to relearn in certain things and situations. And that's the beautiful thing about life. So as long as you live it, you know, you understand and you experience certain things. And the only way you become wise if you apply knowledge to life. Because if you don't, you'll be an old fool as well. And what was your second question?
Was that the best trip you ever made in terms of your boxing career, coming to Belfast, Ireland to confront Tyson? And you have no regrets about that?
I have no regrets about coming to Ireland. You know, I met a lot of great people in Ireland. I could say I met a lot of great people that I actually still talk to this day. So I can say that it was a great experience for me. It was also a great trip for me as well. You know, the people treated me very well, and they clung to me. And overall, yeah, it was a wonderful trip.
All right. Thank you very much to all of our media that joined us today. I'm going to turn it back over to Ray Flores to wrap it up. And thank you, Deontay, for your time.
Thanks so much, Andrew. And D, I just want to give you the floor final few moments as you get set to embark on this trilogy fight against you and Tyson Fury. If you don't know, you better order the pay-per-view. This is going to be a historic night in Las Vegas. TMobileArena.com for ticket information or AXS.com. Deontay, as we're only a few weeks away, what do you want to tell the world? And especially, what do you want to tell Tyson Fury as you get set to collide in the ring with him a third time?
Again, to all my fans, you know, I appreciate you so much, you know, for the love and prayers that's been sent out to me. It's going to be an amazing fight. You know, we've been on this journey together, you know, and a lot of people see me, you know, silenced, which I'm always silenced. You know, the most time anyone ever hears of me is during the time I have fights of boxing. Other than that, I go MIA. And I do that for a reason. You know, I'm not a person that like to be out all the time or like to be in the spotlight. I like to be seen a lot. I love my peace. You know, I love being on my own little island here at home and been around the people that love me the most, you know, and you can be around so many people and you can be around so much fake love. But when you know people that really loves you, those are the people you want to be around. Why wouldn't you not? You know, ain't that right, Shell? So, you know, but with this fight is concerned, you're looking at a rejuvenated Deontay Wilder, reinvented Deontay Wilder. You know, the old Deontay Wilder is no longer there. It's something that I can't explain to you, but only will show you come October the 9th. You know, I know a lot of people have to promote certain things, but I think I've been a straight up guy. I've been a straightforward fighter ever since the start of my career. That's what I use my platform for. You know, there's never been no fakery about me. Sometimes I say things that may, you know, cross people wrong, or people don't understand what I say because they don't understand the man that is saying it. But as the saying is, my favorite saying, what's understood don't have to be explained. So come October the 19th, baby, I'm looking forward to it. I can't wait. And it's just going to be an amazing fight. You know, nothing I have to say for my opponent, for we all know that silence is golden. I see y'all soon. October the 9th in T-Mobile Arena. If you can't be there, it's going to be on Fox Pay-Per-View, baby. Don't hesitate to click that button. It's going to be every bit of worth your money. And I appreciate you for your hard-earned money. I appreciate it. And I won't let you down, baby. I'll see y'all soon. Until then, Bomb Squad!
That's the way to end the press conference. Steve, we'll see you during fight week. The most electrified man in boxing, Deontay Wilder, joining us. Champ, we'll see you in Las Vegas.
Blessings, Ray.
Thank you very much, all the media, for joining us. We can't wait. We'll see you in Las Vegas, October 9th. Deontay Wilder, Tyson Fury. Don't miss it. Have a great one, everybody.
As we are still awaiting Frank Warren, the floor will be open to Bob, Frank, and Tyson. But for now, I'll just start things off with first saying congratulations to you, Tyson. You've added one to the clan since we've last spoke to you. So congratulations on the birth of your daughter.
Thank you, Christina. Thank you.
Absolutely. Just since you've arrived here back in the States, I mean, I know you're more than anxious. I'm sure you were ready to fight yesterday, but if you can just give an opening comment about how excited you are that we are days away from fight week now, finally.
I'm very excited. Very looking forward to this fight. Very motivated, very focused and determined, and I cannot wait for it to be October 9th. I wish it was this weekend, but I have to wait one more week until I get these big hands on Wilder. For the third time, one of the few heavyweight trilogies we've seen since, I believe, Riddick Bowe with Vander Holyfield. So yeah, really looking forward to putting a bit of history to this fight.
Now, last fight, you straight up told all of us exactly how the fight was going to go. Whether the media and the fans believed you or not, that's you know, that's up to them. But this time around, when we first spoke at the press conference months ago, you said you plan to do the same thing, knock him out perhaps even sooner. I assume you're still standing by that statement at this point.
Yeah, I'm going to go all guns blazing, full out attack, all the infantry, straight out the door from round one until it finishes. It's either going to be me or Wilder. And I can't anticipate it being myself. I've never had a better training camp than I've ever had. I'm in the best shape of my life. You know, all the usual bullshit that fighters say, yada, 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 yada. Great shape, best camp. You know the story, Bob.
Once or twice, right?
Oh, this is actually true this time. And most of the times for me, I'm injury-free, which is the most important thing. Really looking forward to it. Can't wait. Not much more I can say. Opening comment done. Fields open to questions.
Okay. And Bob, you were, for the record, you were one of those ones that believed exactly what Tyson said he was going to do last time.
Absolutely. Why would he lie? I mean, the thing that concerned me was, hey, he's saying what he's going to do. He's tipping off the other side. But who knew how stupid the other side was? They didn't believe him.
Well, they've made some changes to try to rectify that, and all will be settled when they step into the ring finally on Saturday, October 9th. But as the champion said,
no heavyweight in the world that can beat Tyson Fury. Period. End of story. No heavyweight in the world now and in the near future.
I'm not going to argue with the boss man. So we're going to open it up now to the media. If you'd like to ask a question, please make sure to raise your hand in the queue, and Evan will unmute you and we will get your questions in. So send Evan a private chat message in the Zoom or raise your hand, and I will feed the questions directly either for Bob or for Tyson. So let's see who our first question is going to come from. Let's go to Keith Idek for the first question. Keith, go ahead and unmute yourself.
I did. Christina, do we get one question or two?
I don't know how I feel. You can have two.
You can get 3, Keith, if you want.
If Evan and Bob like you and Tyson, I'm hands off at this point.
I'm not being greedy. I just wanted to make sure. Tyson, you dispelled the myth basically that fighters can't really learn a lot in their first camp with a new trainer, because obviously you've performed so well in the fight against Wilder, the last one. What do you think worked so well for you in your first camp with Sugar Hill, and then what do you think Deontay Wilder might be able to change about himself in this first fight with his new trainer?
Good question. And the answer to that question is, it only took me 6 weeks to go from a slick boxing counterpuncher to an aggressive knockout puncher. With 6 weeks with Sugar Hill, changed me full style, full outlook on boxing. Deontay Wilder's had 16, 17 months, however long it is, since we fought, to change his style. I believe he probably could have got a degree from college in that time if he would have worked hard enough. Never mind change his boxing style. Anyone can do whatever they want in life. Everybody will have a game plan. Everybody will do what they think they're going to do, until what Mike Tyson said is 100% true. Until they get punched in the face, then they realize that they've got to do what they've got to do to survive. And that's what boxing is. Everybody's got a great game plan until it comes down to it. And that's what it is.
And Tyson, my other question for you is, obviously the heavyweight division changed a great deal on Saturday with Joshua's loss to Usyk. Just your perspective on the fight was, and of course how it changes what you might do moving forward after this fight.
I've only got one fight on my mind at the moment, and that's Deontay Wilder. He's the most dangerous heavyweight on the planet, barring none, and can end your career with one punch in any round. So I can't be thinking about what happened in other fights. I can only think about me. I know it's selfish, but it's a very selfish game that I'm in. So I haven't really thought about Usyk or Joshua. One thing I will say, though, while everyone's listening, is I've got no interest in slating anybody, or kicking anybody while they're down. It ain't my style. I like to pick on someone who's doing well, successful, on top of the game. I don't like picking on people who are down and probably at the lowest point and probably mentally unstable and unwell with a big loss after such a long reign. So, Usyk done his job. He had to do what he had to do, and that's that. And Joshua's got to do what he's got to do. But like I said, none of my real business. Can't say I'm interested, because I've got the Bronze Bomber to deal with. And then whoever's next, we'll deal with them, just like I've done the other 31 opponents I've already faced.
Okay. Thanks, Tyson.
Thank you.
Thanks, Keith. Next up in the queue is Dan Raphael. Go ahead and unmute and ask your question, Dan.
Hey, thank you very much, Christina. Hi, Tyson.
Hi, Don.
Tyson, my question for you is, so the delay has happened, and I wondered, it's been a while, but think back to the immediate aftermath of the second fight that you had with Deontay Wilder. I wanted to know, how annoyed, or whatever the right word is, were you with all of the things that he said were his reasons why he lost? He said that you manipulated your gloves, that his trainer spiked his water, that his outfit was too heavy. There was like 10 different reasons why he claimed he lost. He could never seem to give you any credit for just beating him and being the better man on the night. What's your perspective about that?
I don't really make much of all the excuses that were flying around for so long. And I think it just made him a weaker character and less of a man, less of a fighter, because, when you get beat, you get beat. Shake the man's hand and move on. Lots of fighters have lost. Muhammad Ali lost fights. Mike Tyson lost fights. But it's what they do after they lose that makes them who they are. And I've not really got a lot to say about what Deontay Wilder was saying. It's none of my real concern, because when some people lose, they have to make up an excuse why they lost. And that's probably Deontay Wilder's reasons for going into this second fight, to convince himself of whatever happened. And that's up to him. Good luck to him in the fight, and we'll see if he can do anything better in the third fight rather.
Is that it for you, Dan? Okay. I guess that's it for Dan for now. We're going to go to the next question. Is from Jeremy with Fansided. Jeremy?
Hi, Tyson. You've been very open about your mental health struggles. You once explained to me that it's a daily struggle. While preparing for this fight, did you ever feel those struggles could jeopardize this fight or your success in the ring?
I don't never feel like the mental health struggle can jeopardize my fights, because all the time I'm training and keeping fit and I've got a goal and I'm motivated, then I don't get down, depressed or anxious. So that's why I train every single day in my life, and I don't take no time off.
You know, as far as what we've seen from Deontay Wilder so far, the videos, the training montages, do you think there's anything that he could possibly do to better his chances in this fight going forward?
Yeah, I think he could try and land more punches on my face, and that will help his chances of winning.
Sounds good, thank you.
Usually a good idea if you try and hit the opponent in the face as much as possible. Cheers, Jeremy.
Thank you, Jeremy. Next up, we have a question from Jonathan Nagoff. Jonathan, go ahead.
Hi, Tyson. Thanks for coming on. When Deontay says he's reinventing himself and, you know, people look at his training footage, what do you make of that? And do you think you will see a different Deontay Wilder this time around?
I don't make much of it because a lot of people speak a lot of words and nothing ever gets done about it. But we'll see on the night. And I hope he brings a better fight, because last time was disappointing, really, to say the least. I trained for an absolute war and it was a one-sided beatdown. So hopefully he can bring a much better fight this time and give me a challenge. That's what I'm here to be challenged. You know, these challengers need to give me a good challenge. That's what I want, good challenges.
Bob, are you still there?
Yes.
Yep.
Bob, do you, kind of to that point, do you expect to see anything different from Deontay Wilder in this third fight?
What do you mean?
Do you think that?
To see, who the hell knows? I'm not involved with that camp. Sure, he's going to try something different, because he ain't going to want to do the same thing and end up getting knocked out. So he's going to try something different. What that'll be, I don't know.
Yeah, he tried to change the trainer.
But it's not going to help him, right? In my opinion, it's not going to help. Whatever he does, Tyson Fury is going to beat him. But yeah, he's going to try something different.
That's the bite I wanted first, Bob. That's that last part. Right there. Doesn't matter what he does. We got there eventually. Okay, on to the next question. Danny Flexen, you're up next. Danny, go ahead.
Hey Tyson, how you doing?
Hey Dan, you all right, mate?
Yeah, good mate, thank you. You've got a fantastic record in rematches. Obviously, you're unbeaten overall, but you've always produced a better performance the second time around. McDermott, Chisora, Wilder, of course. With that in mind, what's the secret to improving against the same opponent second time in a row? And linked to that, what advice would you give Joshua to do the same against Usyk?
I don't know, Dan, to be honest. I just go in there and do what I always do. And that's try and be victorious and give 100%. That's all you can do, you know. You can only do your best in boxing. And if it's not good enough, then you don't win. And if it is good enough, you move on to the next one. There's no secret, there's no rocket science to boxing. Although a lot of these fighters today try and make it quite technical and all this downloading data bullshit. I've never heard such bollocks in my life. You know, it's two men fighting, punching each other in the face and body for 12 rounds or less. There's no rocket science to it. You got to train hard and get to bed early, eat right, drink plenty of water, and get stuck in best way you can. And if it's not going your way with the one game plan you have, change it up and do something different. Give your best, give all you can, leave it all in the ring, and don't be an if I woulda, shoulda, coulda. Don't never think to yourself, if I would have trained a bit harder or I would have given a bit more in whatever round, I could have done better. My advice to Joshua in the rematch is get stuck in the best way he knows how. Put his best foot forward and swing away, Jack, swing away.
Cheers, Tyson. Good luck.
Thank you.
Joining us now on the call is Frank Warren of Queensbury Promotions. Frank, are you there?
I am. Good evening or good afternoon.
Hi, Frank. Thank you for joining us as well. Frank is also available in addition to Bob and Tyson for questions. But I just want to ask you, when Tyson did go back to the UK after closing camp here from COVID before he came back, what did you see from Tyson that you could tell us or give us a little bit of insight? Because he was really kind of closed off there while he was back in the UK before recently coming back here.
I can answer that question. Nobody's seen anything because nobody's seen me.
He wasn't. I think we only see him. Was it a few weeks ago? Other than that, it was a closed. He's just closed down. I mean, obviously he had the personal things going on with his the birth of his daughter, and that was obviously occupying him. I don't think anybody troubled him because that was the most important thing. But I know he's been training very hard, and obviously once his daughter was in a good place, I think that put Tyson in a good place, no doubt about that. And he's as he said. Certainly, when I see him, I thought he looked in extremely great physical condition, and he was great mentally. You know, this is a dangerous Tyson Fury. When he's like this, he's a dangerous man, and I think Deontay Wilder's going to have a real problem.
Thank you, Frank. And again, just as a reminder, Frank, Bob, and Tyson are all available for questions. We're going to get now to another member of the media. We got tons of people trying to raise their hand, and just bear with us here as Evan filters through the queue. The next up is going to be Jeff Powell. Jeff, go ahead.
Hi, Tyson. Good to see you.
Hi, Jeff. Good to see you, buddy.
Yeah, just give me a thought in terms of mentality for the fight. Given that you were held up and thankfully everything turned out well with the baby, given you had COVID, is there any doubt in your mind that you'll be less than 1,000% for this?
No, you know, I never go into fights if I'm not 100%. I don't go in on 50s and 25s and 35s. I go in 100% and I give 100%. You never hear me making excuses about, oh, why I did this wrong, or why the fight was a bad fight, or whatever, or why I got caught. Shit happens in boxing, Jeff, as you well know. You've been around it long enough to know that now. And you just got to do the best you can. And that's it. Get stuck in and hit him more times than he's hitting you. It ain't rocket science. Boxing is very, very, very simple. You hit the opponent more times than he hits you, and you're probably going to win the fight. And that's how it works. But am I 100%? I'm 1,000,000%. Look at me. I'm in fantastic shape. I'm as fit as a fiddle. I'm sparring 12 rounds. I've got the best sparring partners in the world. I'm absolutely ready. I'm ready today, tomorrow, and forever. I'll always be ready. And I'll never make excuses, because that's not me. I get in, I do the best I can, don't make any excuses, and get on with it. And that's it. When I beat Wilder, I'll be on to the next one, so on and so forth. It's never about the opponent. I don't care what they're going to do. I don't care what they bring to the ring. It's the Tyson Fury show until I hang them gloves up, and then anybody else can take over what they want to do. But until that day, it's all about me, and the roadshow continues. All these years later, since 2008 to 2021, nearly 22, and I'm still undefeated and still talking this smack, because there ain't a man out there born from his mother that can stop me or beat me. I haven't seen one yet anyway. Maybe he's not born, or maybe he is, but he hasn't got the guts to come and fight me. I don't know. But yeah, we'll find out anyway. And the next
last one, Tyson, if I may.
Go on.
If you yourself could dictate who you'd fight next, would you prefer Joshua or Usyk?
Well, I'm going to answer that same question, Jeff, like I've answered everybody else. I don't care about anybody else. They're not on my radar. Nobody's on my radar, only the bronze bomber, a.k.a. the Big Tosser. He's the most dangerous heavyweight out there, barring none. And he's the only man that I really care about beating. After him, we will talk. The promoters will do their job, and I'll always do mine. Never worry about the Gypsy King fulfilling his end of the bargain. I will always fucking fight until there's not a fight left in me. You just worry about the other people doing their end of the bargain. Excuse my French. Just got a little bit animated, that's all.
Oh, hey, that's what we're here for. Coogan, you ready?
Yeah.
All right, go ahead.
Tyson, all right, mate?
Yep, all good.
Do you think that certain people are being too dismissive of Wilder into this fight? And do you consider this to be the most dangerous of the 3 fights you've had with Wilder?
Yes, people can always overlook people, Coogan, but the one thing that I don't do is I never underestimate anybody. Whether he's the smallest man in the room or the fattest man in the room, I'll never underestimate him because I've been underestimated since birth. But yeah, I'm still here representing, still on top of the world. Deontay Wilder, make no mistake, this will be Deontay Wilder's make or break moment in his life. Anybody can lose a fight, anybody can have a bad night. Well, this is his make or break time. He's got nothing to lose. He's a 3-1 underdog. He's got everything to gain and nothing to lose. And everybody expects me to go in there and beat him down, which I will. But you can never write Deontay Wilder off because he's at his most dangerous now. And if I was like the rest of the world, then I'd underestimate Deontay Wilder. I'd think, beat the guy easy first time, beat him even easy the second time, I'll take it easy. No. I've trained harder. I've sacrificed. I've been in training camp 7-8 weeks, sacrificing. No families, nothing. I've never ate anything that George didn't cook me. I've never drank anything that George didn't put out for me. You know, I've trained hard twice a day, six days a week. I'm really, really ready and prepared. There's not one thing more that I could say, hand on heart, that I could possibly do to prepare any better for any fight. This is me. I'm at my peak. I'm at the best Tyson Fury ever is now.
See you next week.
Thank you.
Up next, Steve Bilton. Steve.
Hi, Tyson. It's Steve from Boxing UK.
Hi, Steve.
Hello, mate. Tyson, after last weekend, how important is it for you that at least one of the heavyweight belts remains in the UK?
It's none of my real concern about where the belts are, as long as my belts are strapped around my waist. The rest of them, I don't care where they go because, you know, there's only one man who can clear them all up again and bring them back, and that's me. There only ever has been me. I'm sick of saying it. There only ever has been one. There can only ever be one. And you're looking at it. Me, the Gypsy King.
All right, next up is Cole Weston. Cole.
Hi guys, from Boxing World Weekly. Thank you for having me. Tyson, you said in the opening press conference that you wanted to come into this fight at your heaviest. I want to know if that's still true, and if so, what benefits do you think that'll provide?
I've been working on it, but you know, I had COVID. I had a month off with my baby that was unwell, and you know, eating all that stuff takes a lot of doing. You know, I don't know if I'm going to be at my career heaviest, but I'm giving it my best shot. Don't worry about that. Just know that I am a behemoth among men. 6'9", 270 plus. You know, I am the real star to the big men in the division. They said Sonny Liston was the star to the big men at 6'1" and 215 pounds. But you know, I'm setting a landmark here. 270 plus, 6'9", stop me if you can. Like a steamroller coming towards you.
Tyson, you made a comment earlier about in an interview that I watched earlier where you said that you would have been more concerned had Deontay actually accepted the loss and not made the excuses. Can you explain that a little bit more?
Yes, I can go into detail, quite complex as well. See, you know, if you've got a problem in your life and you want to overcome it, like I did with alcohol and depression and all that stuff, then I had to admit to myself that what was going on. I had to accept reality and put up or shut up. And that's what you have to do. In order to get better, you need to accept that you need the help. You need to accept the problem. So Deontay Wilder's problem is he couldn't accept defeat. So long career undefeated, 44-0, nearly all knockouts, and then he gets defeated. It must be hard. The Lord knows I don't know what it's like because I've never had to experience it. But I'd say it'd be hard. But the quicker you can come to terms with being defeated and move on and get better, the quicker you have, the more opportunity you have of avenging your defeat. If you can. If it's possible in your stars to avenge them defeats, then you need to accept the defeat first and then move on. Where what I've seen from Deontay Wilder is he can't accept defeat. He doesn't know why he lost. There's a million reasons why. And he's still banging on that same drum about the gloves weren't on, drugs, water, trainer, all this sort of stuff. Many, many more things, costumes and whatever else. And if he would have came into this trilogy saying, you know what, Tyson, you beat me. Fair and square, good man, but I'm going to get you in the third trilogy. Don't you worry about that. I'd have been like, okay, this is a serious guy. I really got to take him seriously. Not that I'm not anyway, but, you know, he didn't show any class at all in defeat, and he hasn't accepted that he's been beaten. Therefore, he can't overcome it. So you will see what will happen to him on the 9th of October.
And with that, Gareth, go ahead.
Very good evening. Thank you, Bob, Tyson, Frank, for your time tonight. It's appreciated. Can I ask you, Tyson, even though you don't want to speak particularly about last Saturday night, is there a chance that if you have a comprehensive victory
Christian,
over
could you pass me my water, please?
Deontay Wilder on next Saturday night, that you could say to Joshua, forget the victory, come and fight, forget the rematch with Usyk, come and fight me next?
Good question, Gareth. But again, I've no real concern about anything else other than Deontay Wilder. I've got a mammoth task ahead. A very, really dangerous fight that I'm not overlooking, that I'm giving 100% focus. And I don't care who I fight after this. Whoever the next challenger is, let me get through Wilder first. Then on Sunday morning, you can speak to me as you always do, and then we'll talk turkey about who we'll fight next. And quite frankly, I just don't give a damn.
Can you just give an assessment then of how good you think Alexander Usyk is as a heavyweight?
He did his job, Gareth, and that's all I know. He won his fight. Good luck to him. There's not much to express, you know. Did I watch the fight? Yes, I did. Was I absolutely wounded that he won? Yes, I was. I was hoping Joshua could win the fight, but he couldn't, and that's none of my business. And one thing that I have learned in my life, and not that I've ever been involved in other people's businesses, but I always keep this nose out of everybody else's business because it's none of my concern. The only thing I'm bothered about is beating Deontay Wilder, and that's the most dangerous heavyweight out there. In my opinion, Wilder beats Joshua, Usyk, all the rest of the division comfortable, but he cannot beat me.
Thank you. Looking forward to seeing you on Monday. Thank you.
Are we seeing each other on Monday?
Well, I hope so.
Gareth, I got to ask you a question. Where are you now?
I'm in the Wembley Hilton.
Okay. You're in England, right?
I am.
Right. And it's evening, right?
It's 10 o'clock, yeah.
What are you wearing the fucking sunglasses for?
He's been dug out by Bob. Oh, Bob.
Bob, you know loads about boxing, but you don't know shit about sunglasses, I'm afraid. Look forward to seeing you next week. Cheers.
We're gonna take one more question.
Go on, Bob. He led him right into the trap. Let him into it.
Joe, Joe.
Hello there, Tyson. Joe here from Planet Sport. It's great to chat to you tonight, or today even. Just a quick question on Sugar Hill Stewart, really. Obviously, you haven't fought since the rematch, but that's meant you've probably spent more time with Sugar Hill and maybe learning more from him. How has that time been, and how good of a coach is Sugar Hill?
I spent quite a lot of time with Sugar. Yeah, we had about 1, 2, 3, 1. We've had 4 or 5 training camps now, back to back. We even spent a lot of time in our holidays together, where we were still ticking over, still doing bits and pieces. I've had a long time to get used to his style a bit more now, and he's a fantastic coach. The most knowledgeable, the most experienced boxing man that I've ever had around me, by far. His boxing knowledge is second to none. Very, very, very good technical boxing coach. Best I've ever had in the last 10 years, I'd say, for sure.
And on that note, Tyson, anything further? I'd give you the floor for a closing comment here before we wrap things up.
Well, guys, it's nearly that time of the year again where I take over Las Vegas and it becomes the home of the Gypsy King. And just remember this press conference that we had here on this phone. that I vow to smash Deontay Wilder to bits. And I will. Tune in, find out. Peace out.
You can tune in Saturday, October 9th, live from Las Vegas, the T-Mobile Arena. Also live on pay-per-view, ESPN Plus pay-per-view, Fox Sports pay-per-view, BT Sport Box Office, or your local pay-per-view providers. Tickets, select tickets available on AXS.com and TMobileArena.com, also at the T-Mobile Box Office. So join us in Las Vegas or live on pay-per-view. Thank you, Bob. Thank you, Frank. Thank you, Tyson. Everybody, all the media for joining us today. Fight week kicks off Tuesday with the grand arrivals. We'll see everybody that's lucky enough to be there. If not, follow the coverage all week long via Top Rank social media, Tyson's, etc. So for everybody on the call, I'm Christina Poncher. Thank you so much for joining us, and we'll see.